For 2,000 years, humans have been asking the question, what is real? The prisoners in Plato's cave derived their reality from the images projected on the cave wall, and then reacted violently when that reality was challenged. In The Truman Show, the main character sees his reality from an illusion created by the show's producers.
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
I was interested in how cinematography was used by filmmakers to convey meaning in movies. I selected The Truman Show because it offered a show within a show, thus presenting viewers with multiple levels of reality. A reality watching the movie, the viewers in the movie watching The Truman Show, and Truman's own perception of reality. I conducted a thorough analysis of the cinematic techniques employed in The Truman Show in order to explore how the filmmaker conveys these realities. As Christoph stated, we accept the reality of the world with which we are presented. This first clip I'm going to show you is actually the introduction of Truman Show, the TV show within the movie. This clip will give you a better insight to how Truman's life is manipulated by the show's producers.
1.7 billion were there for his birth. 220 countries tuned in for his first step. The world stood still for that stolen kiss. And as he grew, so did the technology. An entire human life recorded on an intricate network of hidden cameras and broadcast live and unedited 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to an audience around the globe. Coming to you now from Sea Haven Island, enclosed in the largest studio ever constructed, and along with the Great Wall of China, one of only 2 man-made structures visible from space. Now, in its 30th great year, it's The Truman Show!
The question of reality was first introduced in the beginning of the movie when a theatrical light fixture falls like a meteor from the sky. The cinematography's low camera angles filming Truman, the fixed frame of the town, and the close-up of the shattered fixture helped to enhance both the audience and Truman's question of reality. The different cinematographic techniques such as point of view, camera movement, and visual effects are used to convey meaning within this movie. The first one is going to be the point of view. The point of view helps to establish the audience's role in the movie as onlookers. We are merely voyeurs in his life. This point of view is actually called the objective point of view. The objective point of view is as the audience is looking at him through a window to his life. And this point of view actually helps to establish the rest of the camera movements and placements throughout the movie. The camera placement in this movie is actually a vital role in the film to assist in giving the impression that we are watching Truman through these hidden cameras. The unconventional placement of these cameras helped to distinguish this movie from all the other movies. From the very beginning, we see these odd camera positions and realize that these cameras are hidden away in Truman's town and we are spying on him. This does give the impression that Truman accepts his reality because he obviously is just going on throughout his day-to-day life as the whole world is looking at him live it. The repetition of the camera placement gave the audience the insight to where the hidden cameras were placed throughout Truman's town. One of the cameras that the audience saw continuously throughout the movie was in Truman's car radio. This was used many times, and this repetition gives us a better insight to Truman's life, and we get to spy more on Truman and understand that where these hidden cameras are, Truman is not supposed to know about. The director used camera movement as a way to follow Truman. This was effective to the idea that the world follows Truman wherever he goes. Now, cutting shots from angle to angle would not be as effective as this camera movement because with the camera movement, it's like our eyes are following Truman. So this works a lot more effectively than just cutting frames, and it also gives the impression that we are following him and spying on him, as the rest of the camera placement and repetition does as well. Reflections in the Truman Show gave a variety to the hidden camera effect. This scene actually was when Truman was suspicious of his reality, one of the first times, and this camera angle of the reflection is a sneakier way to watch Truman as he walks the route, and it still gives the movement like the first clip I showed you did. This special effect or visual effect of Christoph's studio evolving from a moon is an important special effect because it perceives him as God. He is looking over Truman's life. As you can see right now, he is looking out onto his little island that he lives on, and he has the power to manipulate Truman's life. And this manipulation can occur from anything from the weather to what he wants Truman to think or who he wants Truman to marry. And this is an important aspect in the life and how Truman accepts his reality. The size and position of objects help to emphasize the important parts of the movie that the director wants to stand out to Truman in this case. This is a scene when Truman wants to go to Fiji, and he goes to the travel agency, and what else is in the travel agency but very large posters warning him not to fly, such as this "It Could Happen to You" poster. Now, the size and position of it helps it to stand out to Truman and kind of manipulate his mind and his thoughts on traveling. And also, the pan of the travel agency shows the audience the rest of the posters that are up and how surrounded Truman is by this life that the director wants him to lead. Now, the size and position of objects aren't just to emphasize points to Truman, but also to the audience as well. This example is an advertisement for Kaiser Chicken, and this is placed periodically throughout the movie. And if you noticed in the beginning of this clip, a man actually kind of gently pushes Truman up against this poster. And it is not a big deal at the time, but this is just in the beginning of the movie, and the advertising scenes get a little more drastic and noticeable as the movie continues.
Why do you want to have a baby with me? You can't stand me.
That's not true. Why don't you let me fix you some of this new Mococo drink? All natural cocoa beans from the upper slopes of Mountain Nicaragua, no artificial sweeteners.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
This was an example of zoom lens on mural and an advertising scene. This was towards the end of the movie, and like I said, how the advertising scenes get a little more drastic. And because of the mistakes made by the directors, such as this drastic advertising scene, Truman is starting to realize his reality bit by bit. As Truman grows older, he starts to question his reality and makes his way to the edge of the studio. Ultimately, if it weren't for the mistakes made by the producers, Truman wouldn't have questioned this reality to begin with. One of the mistakes being the falling of the light fixture and the drastic advertising scenes that are shown. The wide-angle shots shows how Truman is the loneliest man on the planet because he is the only one who does not know the truth on the other side. And here he is, making his first step to the journey of discovery. From point of view to camera position, the cinematography in The Truman Show expresses how, as a whole, we tend not to question the world in which we live in, but certain individuals always seem to view the world just a little bit differently. And once again,
we accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.